Hi everyone, hope you all are good. So, we are here for grade 6 math. So, you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there. You have to, sorry, you have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 6 and then click on view all lessons. So, there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter multiplication. So, let's just start with the chapter, right? Let's start with the first lesson, that is multiply whole numbers. Let me just write down the lesson name. Okay, we're going to start with the lesson. That the lesson name is multiply whole numbers, right? So let's just start with the first lesson. So just listen to me carefully. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? So let's just start with the first example. The first example is you have to multiply 3 times 4757, right? You have to multiply. So first you have to make the problem easier with fewer digits on the bottom, right? So it would be 4557 times 3 because 3 has a fewer digits than the other one, right? Let's just multiply. You have to start with 3. You have to multiply with 7. 3 times 7 is 21, right? Write ones digit over here and carry tens. Now you have to multiply 3 to tens digit. 5 is the digit that is at the tens position. So 3 times 5 is 15 and 2, 17. Write 7 here and carry 1. Same thing you have to do with the hundreds digit. 7 is at the hundreds position, right? 3 times 7 is 21. You already have a carry. 21 plus 1 is 22. Write 2 here. This 2 you have to write over here. And the 2 that is at the tens position you have to carry to next number, right? 3 times 4 is 12 and 12 plus 2 is 14. You don't have any other digit to multiply. That means 3 times 4757 makes 14,271, right? It would be 14,721. Okay, the next one is 9 times 411. Let's just do another example. The other example is 9 times 411, right? So rearrange the numbers, write the one that has the fewer digits bottom, right? Let's just multiply. So you have to start multiplication from the ones digit, right? Let's just multiply the ones. 9 times 1 is 9. Now the next one is you're going to multiply to the 10 digit. 9 times 1 is again 9. Now multiply the hundreds. So 9 times 4 is 36, right? So it is 3699, right? Okay, let's just start with more practice questions. The next one is 59 times 8. You have to multiply and tell me the answer, right? Just use your notebook, pencil, and tell me the answer. Which is the answer? The number is 59 times 8. So, which is the correct option? Use your notebook and pencil and let me know write down the answer in the chat box, right? So 59 times 8 is, let's start with multiplying the ones digit. 8 times 9 is 72, right? Write 2 here and carry 7. Now 8 times 5 is, yes, 8 times 5 is 40 and 7 47. So that would be 472, right? Okay, the next example is, you have to do, you have to do 2 times 1201. You have to do 2 times 1201. So multiply and write down the answer in the chat box. I'm waiting for the answers from your side. So which is the correct option? So let's just multiply. Start multiplying with ones digit. 2 times 1 is 2. Then tens with 2 times 0 is 0. Then 2 times 2 is 4. And then 2 times 1 is 2. So it would be 2402. Right? Okay, hold on. Okay, the next example is, hold on please. Okay, the next example is, you have to multiply 232 times 8. So how do you multiply? Which is the correct option? Start with 8 multiplying two ones digit. 8 times 2 is 16, right? Write 6 over here and carry 1. 8 times 3 is 24. You have to add 1. 8 times 3 is 24 and 1. 25, right? 5 over here and carry 2. 8 times 2 is 16 and 16 plus 2 is, yes, it is. 8 times 2 is 16 and 2 18. So that would be 1856. I am waiting for the answers from your side. It is 1856, right? Okay, the next one is, the other example is, 96 times 4. How do you multiply? 4 times 6 is 24. Write 4 over here and carry 2. 4 times 9 is 36 and 2. 38. Very good. It is 384. The correct option is 384. Okay, the next example is 801 times 7. So how do you multiply? Which is the correct option? Start multiplying with ones digit. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 0 is 0. And 7 times 8 is, yes, 7 times 8 is 56. So it would be 5607, right? Okay, the other example is 100 times 9. So which is the correct option? That would be 9 times 0 is 0, 9 times 0 is 0, and 9 times 1 is 9. So 100 times 9 is 900, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson multiply whole numbers by yourself later today from the chapter multiplication grade 6. Let me just start with the next lesson, that is multiply whole numbers with 4 or more. So we're going to see if you have number with more than 3 or 4 digits, how do you multiply? Like how do you multiply the larger numbers, right? Multiply whole numbers with 4 or more digits, right? So let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, the first example is 5402 times 5226. Okay, you can see that's a bit long question, right? Because you're going to multiply two 4 digit numbers. So let's just start with the ones digit. You have to start with the ones digit. You have to multiply all the numbers of the other number by 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Write 2 over here and carry 1. 6 times 0 is 0. 0 multiplied by any number is 0, but you have to add the carry, right? So 0 plus 1 makes 1. Then 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is, now 6 times 4 you are going to multiply with 100 digits. 6 times 4 is 24. Write 4 here and carry 2. 6 times 5 is 30. And you have 2 as carry, so it would be 32, right? We are done multiplying with the ones digit, right? We are done with multiplying 6 to every digit. Now you're going to do the same thing with 2. You are multiplying. Now 2 twos is at the tens position. That means you have to start writing the numbers right below the tens. You have to write 0 right below the ones, right? Yes, 2 times 2 is 4. Start writing below the tens digit. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 4 is 8 and 2 times 5 is 10. Now you're going to multiply the next two digit, right? And the next two is the digit that is at the hundreds position. That means you're going to start writing the numbers below the hundreds digit, right? This one. Earlier you have to add just zeros. Okay. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 4 is 8 and 2 times 5 is 10, right? Okay, the last digit 5. 5 is at the thousands position, right? So you have to start writing the number right below the thousand. Sorry, this one I did wrong. Yeah, I have to. Okay, you're going to multiply the 100 digit. So you have 0, 0, 2 times 0 is 4, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 4 is 8 and 2 times 5 is 10. Now we're going to multiply the thousands digit. So just add 0 below the first three digits. Start writing the number from the fourth. 5 times 2 is 10, 0 and 1 carry. 5 times 0 is 0 and 0 plus 1 is 1. 5 times 4 is 20, 0 and 2 carry. 5 times 5 is 15 and 2 27. 5 times 5 is 25 and 2 27, right? So when you add, you just have to add them. 2 plus 0 is 0. 4 and 1 5. 4 and 4 8. 8 and 2 10. 0 and 1 carry. 3 and 1 4 and 5 and 8 13. 3 1 carry. 1 and 1 2. 7 and 1 8 and 2. So that means there are bit long questions. We have to multiply 4 digit number by 4 digit number. So the answer when you multiply both the numbers is 28 2823085 right? That is 852. Let's just do one more practice questions, although they are a bit long, but let's just do another one. Okay, you have to multiply. The numbers given are 6973 times 2240. That would be 2240, right? So start multiplying from the ones digit. So the ones digit is 0 and 0 multiplied by any number is 0, right? When you multiply 0 with any numbers, the answer is 0. So 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 7 is 0. 0 times 9 is 9. 0 times 6 is 6. See, it doesn't matter what the number is, the answer is 0. Okay, so now we're going to multiply the tens digit, right? So you have to start writing the numbers right below the 10. Just add a 0 right below the 1, right? 4 times 3 is 12. 2, 1 carry. 4 times 7 is 28 and 129. 2, 2 carry. 4 times 9 is 36 and 238. 8, 3 carry. 4 times 6 is 24, 25, 26, 27, right? Now we're going to multiply the 100 digit. So you have to start writing the numbers right below the 100, add the 0 below the 1 and 10, right? Okay, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 7 is 14, 1 carry, 2 times 9 is 18 and 1 19, 1 carry, 2 times 6 is 12 and 1 13. You can do slow if you want to because I am pro with multiplications and everything, so that's why I'm doing a bit quick, right? Okay, then the last one is again 2. You have to multiply the thousands digit. So add the zeros between one under 110 and 100. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14, 1 carry. 2 times 9 is 18 and 1 19, 1 carry. 2 times 6 is 12 and 1 13, right? Just add up all these numbers. You have to now. You have to just add. It is 0, that is 2, 9 plus 6 is 15, right? 5 and carry 1. 6 and 4, 10 and 8, 18 and 1, 19, 9. Carry 1. 21, 1 and 2 carry. 2 and 2, 4. 5, 6, 7 and 7 and 9, 16, 6, 1 carry 3, 1, 4 and 1, 5 and 1. So when you multiply 6,973 3 times 2240, the answer would be like this. Let me just check once using calculator if the answer is correct. 6973 times 2240. It is 15619,520. Yes, the answer I got is correct one, right? Okay, that's a bit long. You can do the practice questions on your own. So you can find a lesson on aplusstudents.com. The chapter is multiplication, and the lesson we done is multiply whole numbers with four or more digits, right? Okay. Okay, so let's just start with the next lesson. If you need more help with the lesson, you can either contact the tutors or either you can search the channel for the lesson, right? Let's just start with the next lesson that is from the same chapter, and the lesson is multiply numbers ending in zeros. So now we're going to learn how do we multiply numbers that end with zero, right? Okay, let's start with the first one. 23 times 50. That is the first example, right? Okay, so simple thing is like multiply non-zero numbers. Just remove the zero. You are left with 23 times 5 and just multiply. Let's just 5 times 3 is 15, 5 1 carry. 5 times 2 is 10 and 1 11. That means 23 times 5 is 115, right? You have one zero in the question. You remove the zero. Now you can let's just put back zero again, zero over here and zero over here. It would be 1150, right? So if your numbers that ending with zero, multiplying them is very easy because we know that zero times any number equals zero. So you can just multiply the numbers without zero and then you can add the zero at the end, right? The next one is 1000s times 200, right? Let's just multiply them without zero, right? So without zero, they are just one from here and two from here, right? And one times two is two. Now count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 zeros. That means if you multiplied them, the answer must have 5 zeros, right? That is 200,000. That is 200,000, right? The other example is 900 times 200. 900 times 200. So let's just multiply the numbers that are non-zero numbers, right? The numbers that are not zero. You are left with just 9 times 2, right? So 9 times 2 is, yes, that is 18. Now count the number of zeros and add the zeros. 1, 2. 3 4. So the answer must have 4 zeros, right? Okay, the next example is you have to do 3,000 times 5. So which is the correct option? How do you multiply? You can just write down the answers in the chat box if you already know them, right? So just multiply the non-zero numbers. 5 times 3 is, yes, that is 15,000, because 5 times 3 is 15. You have to add just 3,000. So it would be 15,000, right? The next example is you have to do 70 times 600. So how do you multiply? Just multiply the non-zero numbers, right? The non-zeros are 7 times 6. 7 times 6 is 42, right? Now just count the number of zeros. 1, 2, and 3. That means you have to add 3 number of zeros. That would be 70 times 600, right? Okay, the next one is that would be 4 times 800,000. So which is the correct option? So multiply the non-zero values. That would be 4 times 8, and 4 times 8 is 32. Now you can count the number of zeros. You have 5 zeros. That means it would be 3,200,000, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson, right? The next lesson is multiply 3 or more numbers. So what you have to do if you have to multiply more than 2 numbers, right? How do we multiply more than 2 numbers? We're going to learn over here. Okay, so what if you are going to multiply more than 2 numbers? How do we multiply? So let's just start with the example. Okay, so the first example is we are going to multiply 7 times 11 times 1. So you can see we have 3 numbers to multiply, right? You can make a group of 2 numbers, multiply them. Let's start with 7 times 11, right? 7 times 11 is, 11 times 7 is 77, right? You're done with multiplying these two numbers. You can multiply just with last one. So 17, 1 times 17, 77 times 1 is 77. So the basic concept is you have to multiply the numbers like we simply do. You just make a group of two numbers, multiply them, and then in the last, when you are still left with two numbers, just multiply them and find the product, right? Okay, let's just do another example, that is 9 times 7 times 7. So how do you multiply? Just make a group of two numbers, any two numbers, right? 9 times 7 is 63, right? Now you are left with again two numbers. You can just simply multiply them, right? 63 times 7 is 7 times 3 is 21, right? 1 and 2 carry. 7 times 6 is 42 and 2 44, right? So it would be 441. The product of 9 times 7 times 7 is 441, right? Okay. Okay, the next one is 2 times 2 times 4. So which is the correct option? Let's just make a group of two numbers. 2 times 2 is 4. You are again left with two numbers. So 4 times 4 is 16. So the correct option is 16, right? Okay, the next example is 6 times 11 times 6. 6 times 11 times 6. Let's just make a group of any two numbers like this. 11 times 6 is 66. And you have to do 66 times 6. So which is the correct option? Now let's just do 66 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, 6 and 3 carry. 6 times 6 is 36, 37, 38, 39. So that would be 396. The correct option is 396, right? Okay, let's just do the next one. You have to answer for the next one. Use your notebook pencil and find the answer, then write down it on the write the answer in the chat box. Then the next one is 1 times 5 times 10. So which is the correct option? Which option is the correct one? You have to do 10 times 5 times 1 is 5, and then 10 times 5 is, yes, that would be 50. Very good. The next one is 12 times 7 times 1. So which is the correct option? Let's just make a group of two numbers. It would be 7 times 1 is 7. You are left with again two numbers. Just multiply them, right? So 12 times 7 is 7 times 2 is 14, right? 4 over here and carry 1. 7 times 1 is 7 and 8. So 12 times 7 is 84 it is. Okay. The next example is 6 times 2 times 4. The next one is 6 times 2 times 4. So, which is the correct option? Just make a group. 6 times 2 is 12. Now you have to do 12 times 4. So, 12 times 4 is 48, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So, we were working on grade 6 math. The chapter we're working on is multiplication. The lessons we have covered today are multiply whole number word problems. I haven't did word problems, but the concept is exactly same, right? Multiply whole numbers with 4 or more digits, multiply numbers ending in zeros, and multiply numbers ending in zeros word problems, multiply 3 or more numbers. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for these lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, either you can contact any tutor on the Skype or either you can search the YouTube channel. How do you search the YouTube channel? For example, here I'm on YouTube. Just write down the lesson name. I'm going to search for the lesson. Multiply numbers ending in zeros, right? Just write down the lesson name in the chat box, in the search box, followed by the channel name, or channel name is A plus classes. Okay, and here we go. You can see here is the lesson I did long time. So you can just open the lesson and do as many practice questions from the lesson as you can, right? Or otherwise you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. So if you have any question related to the lesson, you can please ask. I am waiting for the questions from your side. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.